You are now listening to the smooth sensations and high vibrations of Alex, host of the best relationship channel on YouTube. Alex, drop them gems on us.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Alex. Shout out to the Elite Fleet. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can become a member of the Elite Fleet. And we gotta talk about Tia Mowry because I told y'all what was gonna happen has happened, which is she's out here back on the dating market that she don't understand, that she hasn't been in for over a decade, and it is kicking her ass. She is not enjoying her time at all. Which I told y'all when she first filed for this divorce, that she was running around here like she was hot stuff, and she had her little skimpy outfits on, and she talking about how she was free, and she just thought she was gonna have a good old time. I will never understand why married women almost always get jealous of single women. It's like you guys don't understand common sense. If the married women are jealous of the single women, but the single women are jealous of the married women, what does that tell you? That tells you that both of you guys miss what the other person has, which means you should really just be happy with what you have instead of envying what someone else has had. But unfortunately, not all, but most women want to have it all. They want to have the fun and the sporadicness of the single life while also having the stability, right, and the lovingness of having a marriage or having a family. But you can't have both, so you have to pick and decide as a woman which one you want most. Because let me tell you something, I'm going to drop this gem early, very early in the video before I even start cooking this Tia situation and patting myself on the head for being right, as I usually am. And what I'm going to tell you, ladies, is this, alright? If you know you want a family, if you know you want to have children, be married, have a family, have a loving relationship, when you get that, you better nurture that. You better care for that. You better do everything humanly possible to make sure it works, because that lightning ain't going to strike twice. I repeat, that lightning is not going to strike twice. First of all, if you're a woman in 2023, alright, it's already about a 50-50 chance you're going to get married in the first place. If you're a black or Hispanic woman, that number falls even farther. And if you're a black woman, you're already fighting an uphill battle in the first place. Alright? So the likelihood someone's going to do it again, oh, you got damn near no chance. And even if by some measure you happen to be that 10-20% woman where someone else comes behind another man who couldn't make you happy and he tries to make you happy, which is a dumb move on his part, because women already initiate divorce 80% of the time. You remarry their ass, the divorce rate is 80%, period. I'm not talking about the initiation. I'm talking about the divorce rate. You remarry someone who is divorced, y'all gonna get divorced again 80% of the time. You do it the third time, it goes all the way up to 90. So you get my point. So even if you happen to find some simp idiot who want to try to clean up the mess, you're just gonna leave him anyway, because he's never gonna measure up to your first man. Let me tell you something. You find a husband, right? You find a man who's willing to marry you in 2023 when marriage is popular. You find a man who's willing to sign a marriage contract which benefits you in every way but benefits him in no ways. You find a man who wants to plant his seeds in your soil so your womb can produce his children. You find a man who wants to split his portion with you or spend all his portion taking care of you. You better nurture that, you better cherish that, and you better care for that, because you ain't gonna find it twice. You shouldn't find it twice, in my opinion. If you find someone who loves you enough, and there's no physical abuse, there's no mental abuse, there's no emotional abuse, there's no financial abuse, as there wasn't in this marriage with Tia. And I don't want to hear y'all talking because some idiot came in my comments last time talking about something. How did we know he wasn't abusing Tia? Maybe she didn't say anything because she didn't want to put her business in the street. First of all, if she didn't want to put her business in the street, she would have never talked about getting divorced. She would have just did it and no one would have known. Didn't we just have Jada come out and say she'd been separated from Will for 6 years and nobody knew? That's what Tia would have did if she didn't want people to be in her business. So that's cap number one. Number two, when have we ever known women to be quiet about why they're leaving a man? It does not happen. They're going to release a song if they're a singer. They're going to make a movie about it if they're an actress or a director or something. They're going to make Instagram posts, Facegram posts, TikTok videos. They're going to tell the world they got cheated on. They've been abused. They've been played. Because women love being victims, because being a victim is a way to get attention. So there's no way any of this abuse was happening to Tia and she just decided not to say it. Look at the other example with Jada Smith. separated from Will for 6 years, but she did. Why? Attention. So I don't want to hear that. That's cap. Tia's not saying nothing about Corey abusing her because Corey did not abuse her. Tia left because Tia thought it was going to be lit at a dating scene. If you watch the interview, she actually said out of her mouth, when I was dating, back when I met Corey, dating was fun. Men courted you. Men took you on actual dates. They got to know you. But the dating scene now, men just view women as objects. Everyone's just trying to smash. Well, duh. If you talk to anyone on the dating scene now, they would tell you that. As a matter of fact, she even said out of her own mouth, she had homegirls who told her, I don't know what you want to come back out here for. There ain't nothing in these streets. What are you looking for? Now, I digress. There is good things in these streets, but there ain't good things in these streets for a 45-year-old with multiple children who's freshly divorced. Not only a 45-year-old with multiple children who's freshly divorced, but a 45-year-old with multiple children who's freshly divorced, who was married to a millionaire who was in the industry. So Tia's in the industry, she's a millionaire herself, and she's in the industry. That alone limits your dating pool. Alright, you got less than 10% of men to choose from just from the two factors alone. But let alone when you were married, you married someone in the industry. So that means almost everyone in the industry, almost every CEO, almost every actor, actress, director, athlete, right, musician, doesn't matter. They either know Corey directly, or they know of Corey, or they know people who know Corey. Well, my point being, if you know anything about men and male nature, we don't like to wife a woman or be serious with a woman who has any type of sexual interaction with any men who we know personally, or we know someone who knows them, because it gets too messy and we don't like mess. Right? This is the same thing I said with the Aisha Curry situation. She was like, oh, men aren't giving me attention, which was a lie. Men been giving Aisha attention. They still give Aisha attention. Aisha's problem was the type of men she wanted to give her attention wasn't giving her attention, but she didn't have enough sense to recognize that was because you're married to Steph Curry. People respect Steph Curry. Everybody knows that your Steph Curry's white. Everyone respects y'all family and think y'all cute. Y'all one of the few couples that did it the traditional and right way. Nobody wants to mess that up. So instead of you as a woman respecting the fact that people respect your man and them not to come in your inbox crazy, you're mad that people aren't coming in your inbox crazy. So let's cut the cat, Tia. Your dating pool was already limited. So I don't know what the hell you thought she was going to get out here, but it ain't there. No one in the industry is going to touch you with a 95-foot pole because you picked Corey. Now, I would have even been different, right? If y'all was just sleeping together. But no, you married this man, had this man's kids. Don't nobody want to follow behind that. Not seriously. So you came back out on the dating market. Y'all got to read between the lines of what women be saying when they're saying it. She basically told you without saying it the same thing I said at the beginning of the video. There was no abuse. She left Corey because it was mundane. It was boring. Women always say they want to be married, but they don't realize marriage is mundane and boring and it's routine. Alright, you do the same things every day. You get the kids ready, the kids go to school, you go to work if you're a working wife, he goes to work if he's a working husband. Alright, if you're a housewife, you start cooking, you start cleaning, you run the errands, you hit the grocery store, you pay the bills, you come home, help the kids with their homework, your husband comes home, you feed the family, you kiss your husband, you smash your husband, rinse and repeat. It gets boring. Let's call a spade a spade. I already talked to you guys before about the article that said women actually get bored. Women actually get bored with monogamous sex before men do. So Tia just got bored. Her kids were getting older. She just was over it. She thought she was going to go back out here and it was going to be sweet and she was going to be courting and that spark, that's what women call it, the spark. She thought that spark was going to come back and instead she found out wasn't nothing out here for her but long dick and bubble gum. Which I could have told her before she went out there. I told my ex the same thing. I told my ex before we broke up, right? And I don't have a bad relationship with this woman at all, right? Now, she probably doesn't feel the highest about me, and I know why, because she's mad, because the dating scene has been way better for me than it was for her. But I tried to warn her that that was going to happen before it happened. Let me tell you something where you ladies go wrong. You're always talking to old-ass simps who don't understand today's dating market. Instead of talking to dudes your age and younger, y'all always go and talk to old-ass men. Your sugar daddy, who will slide you money to pay bills but will never wife you. Your dad, who's old as hell. Right? All these old men telling you, you deserve this, baby girl. You deserve the world. We don't act like that no more. You guys have to understand. Just like women are always saying, we're not going backwards. We're not going back to the old days. modern men are not your fathers. Modern men are not your grandfathers. We're not going back to the old days either. Y'all always talk about how y'all don't need no man. We don't need no woman. I keep saying this. I'm not saying it to be an a-hole. I'm saying it so that y'all understand that you don't end up like Tia Mowry. Because she thought she was going to come out here and be a valuable commodity. Listen, let me tell you guys something. Men viewing women as the prize died a decade ago. You're not the prize anymore. Now men look at you, we look at us, and we say, what the hell is the benefit to you? Especially when you don't want to be traditional. At the end of the day, I can just smash and keep it moving. Just like you can smash and keep it moving. See, y'all always look at things from your perspective, but you never look at it from the other perspective. Women just assume when I'm ready to settle down, there's going to be all these dudes. But there ain't going to be nothing there but simps. The type of men you want ain't going to be offering nothing but hard D and bubblegum most of the damn time. Now, going back to my ex, I told her the same thing. I said, listen, you about to walk back into the dating market, 30-something years old. Alright? What you're going to want is a man who's in his 30s, established, who will take care of you completely like I was. That's not what you're going to get. What you're going to get is the men who want to be in a relationship with you are going to be broke and dusty. The men who are like me are going to be looking for 20-something-year-old women. I actually gave her a gem. This is how much women don't listen. Alright? That's why you should talk to men your own age. Because I gave her a gem. I said, what you would be smart to do is, you will look for a man 40, preferably 45 plus. He'll take care of you. You'll be a prize to him because you're still in your 30s. When you come out here trying to date 30-year-olds, trying to date 20-year-olds who are going to take care of you and provide for you like I did, you're going to lose. You're going to get ran through. You're not going to have a good time. You think she listened to me? Of course not. So what happened? I'm out here. I'm dating, I'm having a great damn time when I was dating, right? I'm getting taken to damn sporting events, I'm getting taken to US Opens, I'm getting taken to concerts, I'm getting booked hotel rooms, right? I'm reciprocating with the women, I'm taking chicks to Philly, we're doing all types of stuff, we having great times, we going bowling, right? I got multiple women cooking for me, multiple women doing this, multiple women doing that, I'm having a great time. She is not having a great time, which goes back to what I said before when I was like, yeah, of course she don't like me now. Because everything I said turned out to be true. She out here getting her ass kicked. Nobody wants to take care of her. Right? I'm out here. Whole bunch of women want to be my wife. Whole bunch of women. I'll do it. I had to narrow it down. Just so I had a pool I could select from. I knew that wasn't going to happen for her. Women don't understand that. I'm like, listen, you got to go up. You can't go back down. When I first picked you up, you were 24. That would have been a time to get a 30-year-old to provide for you or a 20-year-old. Now you're 30, you got to push that up. She don't want to listen. She want to go out here with hope strategy, which is what women always do. We're just going to hope it's going to work out for us. No strategic, no strategy in place. You're just going to hope it works out for you. And 9 times out of 10, it does not. So wasn't nothing out here for her but hard D and bubblegum, just like wasn't nothing out here for Tia but hard D and bubblegum. Now Tia wants to turn around and say, oh, well, y'all telling me to go back to my man, but just because one thing wasn't right doesn't mean I'm going to do the other thing. Just because I'm struggling on the dating market doesn't mean I'm going to go back to something that doesn't serve me. That would be the equivalent of I try out for an acting gig and I don't get the role, so I just quit becoming an actor. I'm good. We're moving on. So she's still trying to pretend that she's happy with her decision, even though she's already admitted that she's not. But you know, women can't take an L, they can't be accountable, so now she wants to walk it back and be like, just because I said dating is hard doesn't mean I want Courtney back. Listen, first of all, we don't even know that Courtney wants you back. Second of all, why the hell would you use your acting career as an example when I ain't seen you acting nothing in years? This is my point. When you were in your teens and your 20s, they couldn't keep you off the big screen. Now you're 45. How many roles can you even play? Really, you should have elevated to where you're writing movies or directing movies by this point. But either way, how many roles can you even play? How many roles can you play? And that's a bad analogy because it's a false equivalency to you. Because at the end of the day, this is not equivalent to you going to try out for a role and someone telling you no and you just giving up. Because you got the role. Corey picked you. He made you his wife. You got the role. So this is the equivalent of you getting, you know what this is like? This is a better example. This is like Terrence Howard with Iron Man. Terrence Howard was casted as War Machine. He was War Machine in the first Iron Man. The only reason Terrence Howard missed out on all that MCU money is because he felt like he should be getting paid more. As much as, if not more, than Robert Downey Jr. Now, why he felt that way when he was playing a side character, I don't know. But as a result, Marvel was basically like, well, we don't have it, so we're just going to switch you out with Don Cheadle. Years later, it becomes a multi-billion-dollar franchise. And he's probably pissed to this day that he stopped playing War Machine because now Don Cheadle getting all the money and he's about to get his own movie, which could have been Terrence Howard's if he would have stayed on the contract. See, Tia, that situation is more akin to what you did. That situation is more akin to what you did. You had a role, it was a good role, you left the role thinking you could get a better role. Terrence Howard never got a better role than playing War Machine. He has not taken one role that's going to make him more money than War Machine would have made him. He let that role go, Don Cheadle took that role, now Don Cheadle was rolling. Same thing with my ex. She let the role go, okay, you can let the role go. Now, when the next woman comes in, and she gets married, and we doing great things, and her ass is still single, she's going to be sick. Probably doing the same thing Tia doing, which is pretending that she's happy and pretending that she's not going to give up. When in reality, she go to sleep at night when it's cold at night and think, damn, I had a good man and I messed it up. And anyone who follows this channel knows I have no bitterness towards my ex. Like, none. So that's not why I'm doing this. I'm just doing this to give you guys yet another example of what I already knew. I told y'all when Tia did this, the dating market's not going to be what it was when you were out here. Stop listening to these old heads. I had a woman in my comment one time tell me, oh, this is definitely a you thing, because I talked to older men, and the older men told me the opposite. Listen, but them older men ain't trying to wife you. That's why you're in my comments, because you're still single. Always talk about older men. I had another woman tell me, you forget that I know masculine men because I have my dad and pause. Now listen, I don't like to talk about people's parents, so I didn't say this to her. But the woman who told me, you forget I know other masculine men, I know my dad. Her dad was always telling her, I don't know about him, he don't keep his word, he don't do this, he don't do that. At the end of the day, your dad has multiple baby mothers. Your dad can't sustain the marriage. Your dad bounced from chick's house to chick's house to chick's house. So how your dad gonna tell me what a real man is? When he bounced from chick house to chick house to chick house and got kids all over the damn place. He don't even live with you. So by your saying, oh, my dad, I got my dad, and he showed me what a masculine man is, that's you basically saying that I could put a baby in you, leave you, and go take care of another woman, and you can't be mad because your dad in your head was still a masculine man. So that means if I do that to you, I'm still a masculine man. It's not even thinking before they say what they're saying. See, y'all always want to go to the people who are telling you what you want to hear. At the end of the day, that's your dad. Your dad is going to tell you what you want to hear. He's your father. He doesn't tell you the truth. He should, but he's not. Fathers only tell their sons the truth. They don't tell their daughters the truth. That's just real. To be honest with you, your mama probably gonna give it to you realer. Now she might have been an a-hole all the way throughout your whole life up to that point, but when it comes to relationships, your mama gonna give it to you realer than your father is. Your mama gonna give it to you realer than your father is. Your dad's gonna tell you you're a princess and the man is wrong and he's not good enough for you. Whole time your dad's not even good enough for you because your dad is almost always not the man he's describing enough for you to date. That's another thing to think about, ladies. I want you to really look at your fathers, if he's in your life, and think to yourself, is my dad even a good man? Think, because a lot of y'all don't even think about that question. Is my dad even the type of man I would want to marry? And honestly, ask yourselves that. Ask yourselves that. Because I love my mom to death. My mom is my best friend. But I know when it comes to a relationship, how my mom views and thinks about relationships, I would never date a woman like her. So you gotta kind of know that going in so that you know how to move. Some of y'all need to reflect on your fathers like that. Because again, your father got multiple kids, multiple households. What the hell he gonna how is he gonna tell you what a masculine man is? You know, so now I'm just running off on examples, but I'm not surprised what's going on with Tia is going on with Tia. Because again, I told you guys, if you divorce your husband, there's nothing else for you out here. What y'all think y'all gonna get and what y'all actually gonna get is not the same thing. Those days where men are running out here trying to prove themselves to women, trying to court women, giving you their whole world, their whole paycheck, it's a dub, it's dead. Just like y'all say cooking and cleaning is dead, which is not. It's harder to find, but it's not dead. Understand, finding a man who even wants to get married to you. Find a man who even desires to provide anything for you, even if it's just 50-50. Find a man who wants you for anything other than just to smash, as Tia admitted out of her own damn mouth, is not easy. Just like y'all don't need to be married anymore, men don't need to be married anymore. This is a hookup culture now. I repeat, this is a hookup culture now. If Tia had her ears to the street, she would have known that. Women are passing off V-Box. On the first date. Women passing out date box on the first link. It don't even gotta be a date. So what are you leveraging here? At 45 years old, already have had multiple children, already going through menopause. What are you leveraging to the next man? Why would he marry you? Things that women don't even think about. What's your leverage? What do you bring to the table? See, back in your father's day, in your grandfather's day, that question was never even asked. Nobody asked y'all what y'all was bringing to the table. Y'all didn't have to have an answer. Today, in 2023, men have evolved. You're going to have an answer to that question. What do you do? What are you bringing? Why would I pick you? If you don't have an answer to that question, hard eat bubblegum. That's what's going to happen. So I need you ladies to understand, and to close the video with this. You're not going higher than your husband. If your husband is not abusive in any way, shape, or form, you need to stay with your husband. Stop chasing the thrill of having men court you. Stop chasing the thrill of going on these dates and all this stuff. Because at the end of the day, women can pretend all day. At the end of the day, it's in a female's nature to want to be loved, to desire to be a family, to want to attach to and settle down with one guy. Unless she's completely ruined and she's just a super thought. Right? So Tia went out here, she done got her back blown out a few damn times. Now she ready to settle down, and she thought it would be like, wham, because she was the cute light-skinned chick her whole life. But instead, everybody just trying to wham, bam, thank you, man. And it's throwing her off because she wasn't prepared for that mentally. So unless you're prepared for that mentally, again, if you're a married woman, before you become single, I want you to really sit down and say to yourself, am I prepared to potentially spend the rest of my life alone? And if the answer to that question for you is no, then you need to work on it with your husband, unless, as I stated before, he's verbally, physically, emotionally, mentally, or financially abusive. If he's none of that, then you need to work on it with your husband. You are not going to win in the streets. There is nothing out here for you in the streets. That's just me being real. Marriage-minded men looking to take care of, provide for, start a family with you, slim to none. Just like traditional women are slim to none. Y'all keep looking at things from y'all side, but y'all don't look at things from the other side. And y'all avoid men who are going to give you that raw truth. But you need to embrace men who are going to give you that raw truth. So hopefully, the ladies listening, y'all actually listen. You probably won't. Some of y'all probably going to argue with me in your comments. Some of y'all probably going to give y'all feelings about something I said instead of taking it for what it is and learning the lesson. And if that's what you decide to do, that's fine. But I'm just trying to help y'all out, like for real help y'all out. If you're married, stay married. Unless there's a legitimate reason to leave. Either way, that's my thoughts on that. I'm Alex, y'all, and I am out. Peace.